second. But first, a little D3 football. Gustavus Adolphus College's Bryce Panning reaches back. Nice one-handed catch against Bethel.
See, that's just south of Minneapolis.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm familiar with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't liked them for a long time. They need to change their uniforms. I'll give them all kind of shout out.
Oh, because
I know exactly where they are.
Michigan?
They look just like that team up there.
Oh.
That guy could start for Michigan, for real.
Washington, D.C. high school football. 285-pound St. John's High running back Antoine Little.
Did you say Washington, D.C.?
Brushes off multiple defenders.
One of my high school rivals right here, St. John's High School Academy. This is a big boy now. You got to make a business decision in the secondary. Do you want to take him low or you just want to get out the way?
Give me a college position for him. Come on, you can spot talent.
He's going to have to play D-line. That's what he ain't got no choice. He's
Enjoy
play
these last carries, fat boy.
Yeah,
I mean,
by the way,
he's in high school.
that kid got
can I do that?
6 D1 offers, that kid right there.
Sure. Oh, wow.
All right, Lexington, Kentucky, Frederick Douglass High's Dane Key reaching way back for a nice touchdown catch.
This is good as it gets right there. OBJ, I got to give him credit. He's giving birth to all these bad kids out there with bad fundamentals. Go up with 2 hands. No, that's nice right there.
Man,
nice.
Steph making kids shoot from 40.
Yeah.
Patty Mahomes making kids try to throw sidearm and no-look passes.
I'll do that.
And OBJ out here trying to make kids do this. But when they succeed, looks good.
Makes our highlights. Packers are itching to get back on the field after a tough loss Thursday night to the Eagles. Won't be easy for a number of reasons. 1, that game's in Dallas. 2, Dallas is coming off a bad loss themselves. And 3, Aaron Rodgers will probably be without his biggest weapon. Pro Bowl wide receiver Davante Adams is reportedly unlikely to play Week 5 with what, CC? Turf toe. Asked and answered. Brian, how will Rodgers have to alter his game plan?
Give me some type of warning. I was down the street.
Well, turf toe is hard to deal with for anybody, so I understand that. And I've dealt with so many injuries, turf toe being one. It's going to be a little bit before Davante Adams comes back. But this is what you have in this offense. It's Davante Adams and a set of other guys. Davante Adams, 25 catches, 378 yards. The rest of the receivers, 26 catches, 333 yards. They just can't get it done without him. But if you watch the beginning of that football game, it tells you everything. Aaron Rodgers, that kind of smug look on his face. He's confident. He's 10 for 10 early. Davante Adams is a big part of that. Then you fast forward to the end of the game, and that whole look of smugness goes off his face. He has no confidence at all. They had an opportunity to go down and win that football game. Davante Adams on the sideline. He didn't know where to turn. He didn't have any confidence in Valdez-Scantling. He had no confidence in Allison. This is the thing. Quarterbacks have communication with receivers that no one else understands. CC understands it. No one else understands it on the field. You give them this little hand gesture here.
Yep.
You do like this. Whatever the quarterbacks do to the wide receivers.
Yeah, Warren Moon grabbed the back of his head. I know to run a fade.
And you know exactly what it is.
I was like, because I wear a fade haircut.
There it is. And it takes time to develop that. And I think the confidence that Aaron Rodgers has in these young receivers is just not there right now. It takes time. It doesn't take a week's worth of practice. It takes time to develop that over years. You saw it with Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb and Greg Jennings, all those guys that were able to do it for a long time. He doesn't have that confidence in these young guys. He has to figure it out. If you're telling me that Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks that has ever played the game, I expect him to figure it out. He has to do it in a week's time. We'll see if he gets it done, though.
That's a great point there. As far as with Aaron's arm talent, he should be able to figure that out. Dan Marino, he didn't have Clayton and Mark Clayton and Duper his whole career. No, he had to figure that thing out. And the best at this should be able to figure it out. Now, I don't know what they're going to do because Aaron Rodgers has warned them about these wide receivers the last couple of years. The first warning sign was he wasn't happy they didn't sign Jordy Nelson. All right? So that was the first one. Then they lose Cobb in the offseason to Dallas. So not only is he not happy with his guys, I'm getting ready to play against one of my buddies who's doing a good job for the Dallas Cowboys. And for me, the Packers, they used to be like the Steelers, where they developed a lot of middle round draft picks into really good wide receivers. They're not doing that now, and I don't like the size. I like wide receivers to be big, but I need a basketball team. I need a dude like 5'11", 6 foot. I need someone 6'2", someone 6'5", someone 6'6", you know, someone to be like a center. They don't have that. They got a bunch of big guys besides Davante Adams. He is their scoring machine. Beside that, they got guys 6'3" and 6'4". Guys who are that tall, typically, their football fundamentals and their routes, they are not the same as small guys. Small guys coming out of their breaks really quick. and Aaron Rodgers can time him up because most of the guys that he's had outside of Jordy Nelson have been all around the same size, around 5'11", 5'10", 6 foot at the best, and get in and out of their breaks. These other receivers, he hadn't been able to time up with them. That is a problem moving forward. The Davante Adams, we said, who's going to be their number 2 and 3 target going into the season? And now, with him out with that turf toe, which I believe he's going to be out for at least a month, it is going to be trouble for Aaron Rodgers and Jamal Williams, their second running back. He's out.
Well, so right now, the Packers, with no Davante Adams, it is the least talented receiving corps in football. If you take Davante Adams off it, we said Jacksonville, man, DJ Chark would come in and be the best receiver on the Packers today with no Davante Adams.
That's a good observation right there.
Seattle, man, you think Aaron Rodgers wouldn't take Tyler Lockett right now? He might take DK Metcalf. He'd certainly take Tyler Lockett in a heartbeat. And so Marquez Valdes-Scantling has had some big plays for them. But it is a similar situation that we talked about with Juju. Okay, do it as a number 2. Now you got to do it as a number 1. I think Marquez Valdes-Scantling, this point in his career, is probably a little underqualified to be a number 2 receiver in this league. He's now going to have to be a number 1. The other receivers, all of them on the roster combined, Geronimo Allison and the others, have 10 catches this year. And you mentioned you're not going to be able to get it done in a week, the rapport. Last season, Davante was targeted 168 times. All the other receivers, 193 combined.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers has relied on Davante. Last year, Davante had 13 touchdown catches. The rest of the team had 12. It has been Davante Adams. I'm as high on the Packers as anybody this year. But this is a devastating injury for them in the short term. I think it cost them the game on Thursday Night Football against Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I think they
couldn't do anything with him.
I mean, he got them down the field to set up that 1st and goal from the 1. You see him come off the field. He never comes back on. They have 6 more plays inside the 5-yard line. They have 5 incompletions and a turnover on those 6 plays. I mean, that is, you saw it instantly. The Packers are going to need their defense to play its best game since week 1 against Chicago if they're going to have any shot in this game because of how important Davante Adams is.
So, Brian, normally we would go through all this and then we'd say, okay, a lot of pressure, a lot of emphasis placed on the run game. We're really going to have to focus. You know, the Packers are going to. But you laugh because they're void of a run game.
No.
And they're void seemingly of a passing game. What are the Packers going to do?
Well, I think the run game is kind of out of the question. You came into this season saying we're going to run the ball more, and that obviously hasn't happened. Having Jamal Williams hurt, big-time injury this past week, that even hurts that run game even more. I think Nick mentioned it. It's the defense. Your defense has to step up, and this is not going to make Aaron Rodgers happy. But now Matt LaFleur, as a play caller and head coach, he's going to have to scheme a game plan that plays more to your defense, not less. That doesn't mean throw the ball more. That means you're going to have to run the ball a little bit more, maybe get involved with some of the short passes on 1st and 2nd down. Give your team a chance to stay on the field on 3rd down. You may not get those big plays down the field, those back shoulder throws to Davante Adams, but you have the ability to stay on the field and play to your defense a little bit more. We saw the Dallas Cowboys last week get out physical defensively. You can do the same thing with this Green Bay defense, and if you can do that, then you can win with that group of receivers that you have there in Green Bay.
Yeah, this will be the game where Matt LaFleur will be under more scrutiny, him and Aaron Rodgers. So I'm watching what they're saying before the game. I'm watching body language during the game, because in games like this, is if you have some type of frustration, that's when it would come out. Because, Aaron, there's a lot of pressure. In the NBA, the guys want the pressure on them, because a dominant player can dominate the game. In the NFL, you can't dominate the game. You're relying on a lot of other things, and when you don't have the weapons and you don't have a running game, to me, how do I make this game short? I'm still getting ready to run the ball. I know no one else saying I'm still getting ready to run the ball, because I am not getting ready to back Aaron Rodgers up 45 times against that Dallas D, which I do believe can make their pass blocking there suspect for the Packers.
And the other element is, on the flip side for this game on Sunday, I would argue both teams are going to be without their most important non-quarterback. That if we were ranking guys that you don't want to lose out on, for the Cowboys, it's left tackle Tyron Smith. For the Packers, it's wide receiver Davante Adams. I know some people would say Zeke, he's the best player. I think in the very short term, if you have all your offensive linemen, you can make it work with Tony Pollard for maybe a game. The Cowboys without their left tackle, the Packers without their wide receiver, we'll see which team can deal with that loss better. Probably determines who wins it.
All right, take a break, Brian. We'll see you a little bit later on the show. Coming up, has Carson Wentz been the best quarterback in the league this season? That's next on First Things First.
There you go, Jim. That's turf toe.